The asset management industry, is that onshore or is that offshore, and how institutionalized is that? I mean, do you have a strong retail asset management industry coming through, in Qatar, and how are you distinguished from other asset management industries in other parts of the Middle East?
The retail asset management industry in the whole region is very nascent. It's just starting over the last few years. So at the moment it's predominantly the institutional type players who are coming in to deal with the high net worth individuals and the sovereign wealth funds and government pension funds, etc. And the people they're putting on the ground at the moment are more of your customer relationship people who are dealing with the clients and investing those funds abroad. But we're now starting to see asset managers who wish to create funds in the region to bring wealth from abroad into the country and into the region to invest in various sectors of the local economy. And to do that you need a variety of players, and to date we've licensed AXA Investment Managers and State Street, who are there more on the institutional level, but we're starting to license more of the support and service companies, and we've got a few funds which are currently going under the application process, which will actually be the first QFC domiciled funds.
Does an institution have to be interested in Islamic finance in order to be in Qatar, and do you show a preference for the development of Islamic finance as opposed to traditional commercial banking in the QFC program?
The country itself utilizes both forms of financing, both conventional and Islamic. The QFC's adopted a similar approach. We are neither pro-Islamic or anti-Islamic as finance. We're providing a level playing field. We're a member of IFSB and IOFI for Islamic financial institutions. We have a growing number of financial institutions who are Islamic, both on the investment banking side of the business and on the more traditional Islamic banking side of activities. And we just think that that's the best way to position ourselves so that, again, people can take advantage of the platform for their own needs.
One interesting characteristic of the Middle East region is that there is the fund management industry, for example, has a very respectable size, except that a lot of the funds listed or traded outside of the Middle East. And likewise, in Islamic finance, the best traded Islamic finance bonds, for example, are traded out of London rather than in the Middle East. In this competition to build a capital market base, to create liquidity, and to come up with very strong, viable stock markets, for example, where is Qatar in that competition, and who do you think will win? At the end of the day, what will it take to win that competition?
It's an interesting question, because it's something which we've thought about within the QFC as to how to complete the financial services sector, and capital markets and liquidity is a key area that needs to be developed. And the government has announced last year that it has signed a contract with the NYC Euronext to acquire a 20% stake in the local DSM, the Doha Securities Market, and give them certain management rights of that local stock exchange. And we see this as being a fantastic way for Qatar to position itself in that whole region as having the best stock exchange around, with one of the best players in the world, using their platform, their technology, their management expertise, and that will enable the stock exchange and the listed companies to move from the current status to, again, world's best practice, which will match the financial services industry which we're developing, and together it'll help, I think, position Qatar uniquely.
How is Qatar positioned to build critical mass by linking with the larger countries in the region? So you have Saudi Arabia, you have Iran, you have India, for example, or maybe even Pakistan, and in Africa you have a few of those countries there. What are efforts being taken in Qatar to build those linkages, and do you think that they will become an important part of the formula?
I think it's very important to consider who your neighbours are, where the large economic activity is underway, and firms that are coming to us in the QFC are telling us that Qatar is perceived to be a neutral player within the region.
So neutrality is an important part of the formula.
It's a fair broker, so that people can travel across the region from Qatar, both logistically on Qatar Airways, which is important, and also having the right people contacts So Qatar is well represented in these countries and vice versa, with foreign embassies and trade offices, and being seen to be a sort of a neutral player, because when you start to travel across the region, you need to be aware of different sensitivities in the region. And if you base yourself in Qatar, we're being told that it's a neutral place to be seen to be coming from.
Desmond Holmes, thank you very much.
Thank you.